Okay, so a few tips on this final project. Obviously, you would have drafted the elevation using the drawings that I provide as blocks for a lot of the more complicated items. Things like the corners here, the windows, this detail here, the range, the door pulls, and what have you. All those can be sourced from the folder I'll provide of all those CAD blocks. But you'll need to format this to print a certain way. And to do that, we will basically go into the layout tab and we'll basically assign this an 11 by 17 sheet of paper. So right here, right click on the layout tab, go to Page Setup Manager and choose New. And you can give it a name. I'll call it 11 by 17, for example. Hit OK. So on this new layout page setup here, called 11 by 17, we're gonna assign this the Microsoft Print to PDF option. You might have Adobe PDF. You might even have AutoCAD PDF. You can choose this one here if you like. AutoCAD PDF General Documentation, or simply use Microsoft Print to PDF. Either way. Here, under page size, you'll simply choose a tabloid. And then you'll make sure this is checked for landscape. Make sure your buttons look this way. These are all checked here on the right side of the screen. Here, you're going to choose extents. And here, you're going to choose center the plot here. And if I did a quick preview of that, hit OK, and close, that's been assigned. So basically, if I come back here, I click here and set current, that becomes the current style of your model space tab, your layout tab. So I created this a second ago. I made it current, and it basically shared that view on the screen currently. Go back, Page Setup Manager. It's already set to current, modify it. And we're going to go in here and change this menu to reflect the line weights that we'll be using. So let me close this out for a second. I hit escape. And I want to draw a rectangle that's 11 by 17. So I'll draw a rectangle. Here, D for dimensions, we'll make it 17 long, enter, 11 inches tall, enter, and then we'll click on the screen. We'll draw this on layer 0. And then we'll move this corner here. I will move it to the corner of the layout. So just simply eyeball it as best you can there. And then offset that title block by 1/2 inch. So offset it by 1/2 inch. And you'll have a title like this. And onto this corner here, you'll copy and paste your little title from a previous exercise into this and fill out the blanks as shown in the previous video. We'll want to make sure this is at the right scale. So I'm going to click on this here. And here we'll set this up at, let's try a 1/2 inch to a foot. And then I'll make these slightly bigger. And with the drawing placed on the screen, I want to make sure that this is locked. So the views here, it's set up for 1/2 inch to a foot here. And then we're going to put the little padlock on it so it does not change. This object here is on a layer called def points. So make a layer called def points here and place that onto that layer. Now currently, this drawing is not set up for printing. As an example, if I were to right click on the layout tab and do plot, for example, and continue to plot a single sheet, then if you go to preview here, you'll see that it's in color. And if you look closely, it does not have line weights. All the lines are exactly the same thickness. We don't want that to happen. We want to have a black and white drawing. So up here, the little X to close out this window, this preview window. And I'll just hit cancel here. So we need to assign line weights to all the layers. So as instructed, we have a few layers. A detail bold is color number 5. Detail fine is yellow. It's color number 2. Detail medium is color number 3. And miscellaneous, which are all the hardware and the tile, is color number 6. Ignore these 2 layers, please. So if we have layers and the layer's been assigned colors, then we simply need to tell AutoCAD to take those colors and print them a certain way, ideally in black and white for starters. So right-click on Layout tab, Page Setup Manager. It's currently, the Layout tab is called 11x17, so we can choose that one. Hit Modify, and over here it says Plot Style Table. Basically, this is a recording of how you'd like the colors to get printed out. So if I use here, New, we'll do this from scratch. Next, and here give it a name. So for example, I'll use my initials, John's Plot. Next. John's plotting. Or John's pen settings. How about that? John's pen settings. Next. And here you'll go to the plot style table editor. You click on that button there. And here's a little window where you basically assign the colors in AutoCAD to a color when the print gets created, the PDF gets created. And so as you can see here, color number 1, the layer that's color number 1 will print as object color, which means if it's red, it'll print red. So this menu here determines what color it'll become when it's printed. So if I choose number 1 here, and I choose black, well, if it finds a layer that's red, it'll print it black. So if you hold down the control button, you can basically just choose the first color number 1, color number 2, color number 6, and color number 5, color number 3. And choose those colors holding the control button down while selecting those colors and make them all print black. And then circle back and decide how thick you want those lines to be, those colors to be when they print out. So for example, now if I save this, hit finish, and hit choose display plot styles, choose that button, hit OK, and close, then this is what your drawing will look like. All the colors have been translated into black, basically. If you zoom in closely, they've all become black. These are only faded out because these objects are blocks. These are blocks inserted, so they look a little different, but they'll print out correctly. But they're all the same line weights. They're all the same line weights, and we need to differentiate the line weights. Again, the original drawing is this one here in model space. And again, yellow is detail fine. Green is detail medium. And again, green is the drawers and doors, the entire door itself. And then this object here, these windows and all the blocks are the miscellaneous layer, which are this maroon color. So very few layers. So we'll use these and miscellaneous. Again, you're ignoring the last 2. So next step is to assign line weights. So if I go back here and go right click and go to the Page Setup Manager again, this is the Page Setup Manager. I'm going to choose 11x17 and set current. So now it's assigned to the right sheet. Go modify. And then here we will assign our pen settings because we just created them a second ago. So here, John's pen settings, CTB, click. So this button here is turned on, display plot styles. And then when you click on the little printer there, you're going to go into these colors and give them a thickness. So we'd like, and you can do this one at a time or hold shift to do more than one at the same time. But if I grab color number 6 and color number 2, here it says that the line weight here is use object line weight. I'm going to pop that open and I'm going to choose a line weight off this menu. So for example, we're using a thin line, so we use 0.05 millimeters. So when it finds a red pen, color number 2 or color number 6, they're both going to print black, and they're going to be a 0.05 millimeter pen. When I choose color 3, I'd like that to be, we'll do a little trial and error here. We'll make that 0.1 millimeters. And detail bold, which is 5, we will make that here in the line weights. We will try a 0.35. So if you do that work, save and close, hit OK, yes, close. Then if you zoom in here, double click in your view space, normally type refresh or RE. So double click inside here, type RE, enter to refresh the screen. And if you zoom into your window here, you'll see the line weights are working. So as I can see the outline of the door cabinet in a medium line weight. So you can see it clearly here. This rectangle here is that cabinet front. There's 2 doors here, so they're each traced with a medium line weight. The details inside the doors are very thin. These are the light line weight. And so on and so forth. So you can see all the line weights triggered here. And then detail bold, which is the thickest line weight, is the outline around the entire drawing. So this shape here, floor to ceiling, and tracing a cabinet here on the right side of the screen is detail bold. This here is detail medium. And this is the way they will print correctly with the right line weights. So double click outside. So if we go back here and go right click and plot, because all the work has been done, this has been formatted correctly. You'll choose plot, continue to do a single plot. All this has been recorded from prior. There's your line weights right there. And assuming you've made all these settings here correct on your screen, you can do a little preview. And on the preview, you'll see the drawing. Now, obviously, your drawing will have dimensions around the file. And for the purposes of this exercise, you can make sure that the layer for dimensions is dim and it's color 7, and use the same line weight as the thinnest line weight we chose, detail fine. But here's your drawing. And so if I were to use a little printer here, it'll produce a PDF. It's no longer a preview. So we've now formatted this tab to print correctly. So when you're ready, right click, plot, and hit OK. Otherwise, take a preview to confirm that all the elements are printing correctly and the right line weights are showing up. Okay, so that's one of the steps that's important.